Hi, this is Chris. Today I'm not sure what I'm going to do. You probably know because I will have made it already by the time you see this. But these are some papers that came with a gift package that I got. A Harry and David gift box with all kinds of fun treats and some wonderful delicious pears. They were so good. And came wrapped up. This, I'm not sure where this came from. This came from something else, but this all came from Harry and David. And this came from Harry and David. It was wrapped in this, it was in a really pretty tin box, wrapped in this bow. And then these packing things to insulate it. So, what can I make with this? I've got this little one. And then 3 of the bigger ones. And fresh fruit packed below. So I guess these are all the same size. But it's real squidgy and crunchy. I'm not sure what's inside. It feels like a paper pillow. Could be cotton or some sort of paper batting. And I also got these Distress Oxide sprays from my good friend and crafting neighbor, Robin. So I thought I might incorporate those. And I was thinking, this is about the right size to make a nice squishy journal. A squishy journal. So what can I do? I think what I want to do is I want to put some heavier papers in here, not a whole lot, but just some heavier papers, and use it as maybe just a sort of a collage book to use up scraps that I have and to see what comes of it. So I think I'll take these away. I'm going to figure out first how I can make pages for this. So let me look in my stash and see what I have. Okay, I think this is perfect. If you saw my last video, I did a reduction of my mother's sketchbook albums into an 8x8 album. So this is still a work in progress, but I took her big albums and I reduced her artwork so that the next generation can keep these and they won't take up a lot of room and they're easy to share. So if you're interested in something like that, that was my video just before this one. But one of her sketchbooks has all this paper in it, so I think I'm going to use this paper. It's a charcoal sketchbook, Ingress. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. So I'm just going to tear these out and then I'll trim them up. So now I have this nice heavy cardboard that I can use for something, and this lighter weight cardboard. It's pretty heavy itself. Both of these would be good for journal covers. Okay, how big is this? It looks suspiciously like the size of a journal. So the pages could be 5.5 inches wide, and they can be, I'd say, 7.5 inches tall. And so this is measured on here, not counting the spiral binding. So this is meant to be 18 inches without the spiral binding. And then it is just under 12 inches. So I can make my pages this way. All right, let's see if we can do this. So I said 7.5, or should I make it 7 3/4? I think 7.5. 7.5 and 7.5 is 15. So there's plenty for that. So I'm going to cut this on my guillotine cutter and I'll be right back. Okay, these are 7.5 and some scraps. And then I wanted them five and a half or 5 1/4. So I'm looking right here. So 5 1/2 would be right on the edge of this stuffing. 5 1/4. So that's 10.5 inches. Okay, I think I'll go cut that at, maybe I'll cut it at 10 3/4 inches. Try that. More scraps. I decided to graduate the pages a little bit. So let's see. 10 3/4, 10.5, and 10 3/8. Whatever. So I'm going to fold these. There's 3 of the smaller ones and 4 of the larger one. 3 each of the smaller ones. Okay, so now I'm just going to load them up. I'm going to put all 4 of the larger ones here. And then I've got the next size, and the next size, and the next size, and then the smaller ones. Now, they should be fairly even. And they are. They're actually quite even. And that's because when you pile papers inside each other like this, they tend to push out as the spine gets thicker. And so that's why I took off a fraction of an inch for each one. So I'm going to just do a simple pamphlet stitch on this, and I'm not going to sew it to the cover, I'm going to glue it to the cover. Okay, now somewhere in here I might have a template that I can use. That's good enough. It's a 3-hole. And I'm just going to eyeball it. And then I think I'll just punch the holes with my small awl. And that should work. And this small awl has never held on to its pin. It just, I don't know, it came loose before I even bought it because it wasn't made exactly correctly. I keep thinking I'll look for another one. Just haven't done it. The ribbons are on here just to help me get the things out of the little box. I could take this foam out, I suppose, but it keeps them from rattling around. I got this at Michael's on sale. I think it was clearance, so I haven't seen them since. But if you see any kind of toolkit like that, they're real handy. And then this is just some packing foam. Alright, this is my bookbinding kit. And I think I'm going to use this nice brown waxed linen. Don't remember where I bought it. And a bit. And then I have this needle here. I think I have Yeah, that one's kind of sharp. This one's blunt. It's like a tapestry needle or something like that. Going to go in the middle. I might tie this on the outside. I think I'll do that instead of tying it on the inside. So I'll go in from the outside, and then I'll go in at the top, back in at the bottom, and then I'll go back out at the middle. Careful not to split my thread. Thread on each side, and pull it tight, but not so tight that it rips the paper. And this wax thread is nice because it tends to stay put. Square knot, left over right, right over left, or vice versa. I have to keep those. I might need them for something. And there's our insides. Easy peasy. Very quick. Now if I want to, I can take this little hammer and I will turn off the sound, but I will just give this a little bit of a hammer to kind of flatten out everything. Okay, now where's our cover? Here is our cover. So what I'm going to do is, this fourth page, see all the other pages I cut were 3 each of each size. This fourth page will be glued in here. But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to figure out what I want to do with the cover. I want to find the middle, for one thing. And it's so thick right here, I think I'm going to do some surgery. You ready for some surgery? So I think I'm going to cut this right here and remove some of that stuffing. And we will find out what's inside there. So this is 14 3/8. And 3/8. This doesn't have centimeters on it, or I might have used centimeters, just because it's easier to divide sometimes. Half of 14 is 7. So I'm going to just go 7 and 3/16. Okay, somewhere in that vicinity. How about that? Oh, I need that again. Okay, I'm going to split it right here. See what's in here. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, I think that's K-pop. Is that what they call it? Oh my goodness. Oh, that goes over here. Okay, so see, you never know what you get yourself into. Oh, bits of newspaper in there. Bits of colored paper. It looks like what you might call post-consumer waste. Well, at least they're recycling, right? Now, can I get this into my trash can and not all over my floor? Now, I'm going to put a lot of glue on that. I think I'll use tacky glue, mainly because I bought this a while ago and hardly ever use it. If I can get the lid off. Whoa. So I'm going to put glue right here. Everything's sticking. It just wants to stick to the kapok and then come up with the kapok. So I'm going to have to just sort of drip it in there. I hope I got enough of this off so it actually glues to the paper instead of just the kapok or whatever it is. Look at that mess. Oh my goodness, what do I get myself into for the love of crafting? Okay, so what I want to do is let that dry a bit. I'm pushing it down into the spine. And then we're going to cover that with another piece of paper, but while that dries, I'm going to wash the glue off. Okay, I got some packing paper. That matches pretty darn well, doesn't it? I'm just lining this up on my grid so I have an idea if I'm straight or not. This doesn't have to be perfect, and it won't be perfect. Okay, I got my art glitter glue. It's feeling like it might be kind of empty. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll cut a little more off. Stick that on there, pick up any glue that's already under there, and then just glue down the edges. Now, do you have a front or a back? So, here we go with our pages. Looks like I probably could have made them a ½ inch bigger, but that's life, ain't it? So I'm going to put a generous amount of glue on the spine first. And just scrunch it around so it looks straight. And then I'm just going to sit here for a while and let that glue take hold. You know what? Change of plans. I'm not going to glue this in yet. I'm going to put some oxides on this cover. Now, this will be fun since I've never done this before. I think I'll get some newspapers. Okay, I have some newspaper, and yes, I still take the newspaper because I worked for the newspaper for 30 years. So, I'll pick out some pages. Maybe I should put something plastic under this. There we go. I found this the other day. This is an old, I don't know what you call it, tissue paper collage that I made when I was a kid. I found it among my mother's things, and she had covered it with plastic to protect it, which of course didn't really So I was 9 years old when I made that. So I think I'm going to put this under here because that's plastic. And I hope I don't make too much of a mess. Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Spray is a dye and pigment ink fusion that creates oxidized effects when sprayed with water. To use, shake well side to side before using to ensure the dye and pigment ink infusion is mixed thoroughly. Spray directly on porous surfaces for quick, easy, opaque ink coverage. Mist water reactive formula with water to enhance oxidized and mottled effects. Clean spray nozzle after each use. So I haven't really used these much. I did go over to my neighbor's house and use some of her Distress ink pads and a couple of her sprays and tested them out. And then she gave me these for Christmas. Wasn't that nice? Nice assortment of neutrals which go well with this project. So, let's see what kind of mess we can make. I should probably be wearing gloves, shouldn't I? I don't have any gloves except garden gloves. I know she wears plastic gloves when she's working with this stuff. So, maybe I should see if I have any of those. Okay, no plastic gloves in the house. I do have spritzer bottles, so I got this small spritzer bottle. It's eyeglass cleaner bottle. When I used it up, I just cleaned it out, put some water in it, and then I've got this Mr. Clean all-purpose spray bottle. How are you supposed to open this thing? Oh my goodness. I guess they didn't want that to come loose in shipping. Alright, I won't make you sit through the rest of this, but I gotta get these open too. Okay, I got that done. So this one is walnut stain. This one is hickory smoke. And this one is vintage photo. So I'm going to spend a little time, make sure those are mixed up. Alright, so we'll just go for it. This is going to get covered anyways when I put in the pages, so we'll do the inside first. I have no idea what I'm trying to do. It's already oxidizing. Am I putting on too much? I do want to get the edges. Oh my gosh, what a mess, what a mess. Okay, let's try the small spray bottle. I'm trying to get some bigger drops on there. Well, I was so engrossed in this I forgot to turn the camera on when I turned it over. So this is the front, and that's the back, inside. And I'm going to take this out and put it out in the sun while I still have some sun, and then we'll see what we can do from there. Well, the sun was rather weak, and it is a bit cold, so this isn't totally dry. It got kind of wet inside. I thought I might put it in my clothes dryer, but then it would probably break open and all that fluff would be in my dryer. So I'm going to have to let this sit overnight. But I think I'm going to end this video. It's long enough. I'll just give you a preview of what I plan to do. I plan to glue these pages in here like this. So that'll be That'll be glued right on like that. And then I will decorate the cover and whatever else needs to be done. But meanwhile, I'll take this out so it doesn't get damp. And we'll just let that dry overnight. And we'll see you soon for part 2. Bye for now, and have a great time crafting. Bye-bye.